The things that I would really dial in on would be, well, what about the sugars? So now the new labels have how much is added sugar. So this one here, it says it includes 10 grams of added sugars. Another way to look at that makes more sense to people is to think of 4 grams of sugar as a teaspoon. So then when you're saying 10 grams of sugar, you can visualize, okay, this is 2.5 teaspoons of sugar. So it's kind of a lot when you think of the overall recommendation being less than 6 teaspoons of sugar. You think, well, that's, a third of their daily limit. The other thing that's good to look at is what are the ingredients? So here we've got milk chocolate, and it's got some sugar, and then dextrose, which is also another sugar. And then here you've got some of the preservatives. So even though the order of the ingredients goes in order by weight, the way that they can be deceptive is they can have 5 different kinds of sugar. So if it was one type of sugar, it might show up as first on the list, meaning that's the most, that's the ingredient that has the most weight. But if they put it into 5 different types of sugar, then it shows up further down on the list. So that's something to be aware of. The thing that I like about this in preference to, we'll go into something else, like the Sour Patch Kids, is that you actually have some fat, a couple grams of protein. So you have stuff to slow down how quickly that sugar rushes into the bloodstream. And then if we go in, same with something like the Sour Patch Kids, and we go in and we look at 12 pieces as the serving size, and that includes 24 grams of added sugar. So that's equivalent to 6 teaspoons. That gives you a good visual. That's a lot of sugar. But then if we look at the ingredient list, it's just sugar, another kind of sugar, corn syrup, which is another kind of sugar. And then down here, you've got all these artificial dyes. And those are the things that have been researched to show the hyperactivity in kids. So if you do see them running around, it could be more due to those food dyes or preservatives than the actual sugar. And here we've got the Tootsie Pops. Added sugars, this is serving size for 1 Tootsie Pop. Added sugars is 11 grams, so almost 3 teaspoons in one of those Tootsie Pops. And then Snickers, which actually would probably be the most preferred, you've got 80 calories per bar, and most preferred because if we look at the sugars, 8 grams of added sugar, so that's 2 teaspoons, which is the least amount of all of these. And when we look at the list of ingredients, you've got milk chocolate, which does start with sugar, and then you've got the milk fats, peanuts, corn syrup, sugar, and palm oil, but you don't have any of those dyes in there. So I would say I'd prefer the Snickers out of all of these. But again, we need to limit the added sugar overall, yes.